I started to... Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fun fact, I just came up with the idea for this video last night before falling asleep. I had some really good conversations with a friend and that sparked the idea for this video. If you've been watching my videos, you already know, but for those who are new here, I am Vietnamese German. Both of my parents are from Vietnam and I was born and raised in Germany. A common saying is that growing up bicultural is like sitting between two chairs, and I think that's quite accurate. You want to sit on one, but you don't feel 100% comfortable on either one of them. You don't feel like you belong, or you feel torn between one of the two. Maybe it was never really difficult for some, and for others it was a real struggle, or still is. It definitely was a struggle for me. How do you overcome that? What's the solution? I don't have the answer to that, but I can tell you how I finally managed to sit comfortably on those two chairs, at least for most of the times. Everything that I'm gonna tell you is stuff that I figured out for myself in the last years, so it's all in retrospective. I am proud of and connected with my roots now, but it wasn't always like that. Specifically when my family moved to the new city. Before that, I was just living life and didn't waste time or thoughts on it. But in that new school, I was the odd one out. There was a time where I really hated my name. I just wanted to fit in. But that name though, why? To be honest, I'm still not a fan of my Western pronunciation, and some friends said that I just should introduce myself with how it's really pronounced, which is heyhuong. But yo, it's a difficult pronunciation, I get that, so I don't think it would be fair to expect that. But friends, if you want to make me happy, that's the way to do it. Honestly, I'm already glad when people get heyhuong right, because some can't even manage that. And don't come at me with, oh, it's because your name is so exotic, blah blah blah. No, it's not. You literally just pronounce it the way it's written. But still, there have been people asking me whether I have a Western name or whether I would have a nickname which is easier to pronounce. No, I don't have a Western name, and I also don't have a nickname. Deal with it. So yeah, back then I just really thought my name was such an inconvenience. I just wanted to fit in and completely felt disconnected to my Vietnamese side. Then in my early 20s, I started to give this whole between two chairs thing a thought or two. I had a boyfriend who was from East Asia, but he grew up pretty Western, so even though we were from two completely different countries, we had a cultural understanding to a certain extent, and that was kind of new to me. Maybe that's what got the ball rolling, I don't know. There were two Chinese people in my high school that I hung out with for some time, but besides that, I didn't have any East or Southeast Asian people in my circle. My mid-20s, oh my god, that sounds so far away, is when I got into all this. By that time, I haven't been to Vietnam for almost 10 years. I wanted to go so badly and connect to my roots, but life just always got in the way. I started to work on ships and was one of the few Germans on board. There were many times where my colleagues would say, oh, you're so German, or it's because you're German, and it doesn't matter whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I just couldn't identify with that. In my head, I was like, no, I don't really feel like that, but I also cannot say that I am Vietnamese because I don't know anything about that country. That's the internal struggle that I was talking about earlier. When I was amongst Germans, I felt like I was not German, and when I was in Vietnam, I felt like I was from abroad. And then after 10 years, I finally went back to Vietnam in 2018, and I really mean it when I say that that trip was so momentous for me. Besides the fact that I saw a lot, I learned a lot, and also ate a lot, I realized that many values, norms, and behaviors that I have come from my Vietnamese background. But I also realized that many values, norms, and behaviors that I have come from me growing up in Germany, and that one doesn't have to exclude the other. Oh my god, this is gonna sound so cheesy, but basically I realized that you don't have to sit between two chairs and struggle or pick one of the two. You can just move the chairs closer together and sit comfortably on both of them. I'm sorry, I just had to. It sounds so simple, but it was a real journey to get there. Let's call it like the simplified short version of my journey, because you also have to add in all the hormones, all the, I don't know, self-doubt and figuring stuff out, like other stuff besides that, all the uni stress and exams and, you know, all that what life throws at you. Okay, not to make it sound dramatic or anything, but you get what I'm saying. There were many times where I felt so alone because I didn't have any people around me who could relate to it. That's just a fact, not to blame anybody or something. I'm in a good place now where I can say that I'm Vietnamese German and I'm proud of it. It kind of feels like having the best of both worlds, at least most times. I have decided for myself that I will not tolerate it when somebody tells me, oh, it's because you're Vietnamese, or oh, it's because you're German, because it's not that simple. I am both. I grew up with both cultures and all that kind of stuff. I don't think other people can decide who I am or what I am or whatever, you know, you get the drill. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you are bicultural, I would love to hear your story. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye!